The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid-Carolina Service Company.
Mid-Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason. Up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153, midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today. This episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast is proudly sponsored by Your Dollar Store. Located at 3017 Farrell Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Owned by Brian Thomas, Your Dollar Store has been serving the community 2021 with a mission to provide fresh produce and essential household items to neighborhoods in need. Serving areas like Booker, Washington Heights, and other nearby locations affected by grocery store closures, Your Dollar Store is a convenient one-stop shop for those seeking healthier food options and affordable essentials. Support a local business that's dedicated to Your Dollar Store, where you can shop, chat, and leave with a smile.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is a little special session that we're doing. We trade conversations on the side, but we found a little time today, and we do have with us Mr. Dovév Weaver, also goes by Coach D.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh,
awesome.
Thank you.
And we are very happy to have him with us today to do a little bit of I guess you say a little renegade podcast now.
Okay.
We want to talk to him about his life.
Phones, please.
What he does. Yes, phones.
Get your phone.
Yep. Yeah, that's yours.
Oh, I messed up.
And you gonna close the door?
Yep.
That's what I was looking at. I'm trying to code y'all. Like,
Key.
Sorry.
Look, this is arbitrary.
Yeah. So we're good. So what's so cool about this is pretty open, loose with it today.
Yeah.
But I do want to give you a chance to explain to our audience who you are, what is it that you do, and where you're coming from, because I think that's pretty interesting at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, like he said, my name is Dovév Weaver, also known as Coach D. I am the founder of Closer to Our Dreams, which is a motivational and inspirational company focused on helping creating entrepreneurs, especially in this crazy world we have going on right now. The reason you see because we were running from Hurricane Milton.
Yep.
And I used to come to South Carolina anyway, and when we got invited back to come, I didn't even question it. I told my boss, hey, I don't care what the bank is doing. I'm leaving. And so we focus on doing networking events for young professionals. We focus on creating our own experiences, our own vibes, because we are a vibe, I like to say.
Yep.
And our motto is together we can achieve more. So even when I just met you guys today, I just love what you guys are doing, and I feel that just needs to be amplified.
yeah, I like that hashtag. Together we can achieve more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You better put that on a shirt, or if not, I will.
It's coming.
Look,
That's actually coming too.
Making sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got some excellent. I'm already on y'all. So, all right, so.
Oh, you went to Closer to Our Dreams? Go to closertoourdreams.com. A special thing for you all since you are chiming in with this wonderful channel.
Appreciate you.
Listen, just type in Dreamer when you check out and you'll get 30% off your entire purchase. So let's go.
That's what
Hilltop
I'm
Glove,
talking
we
about.
bring it.
Yeah, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
Yeah, let's go.
First thing that I do want to ask you after you telling us this information, this is always cool. You're right on brand. You're actually very much on brand.
Yeah.
Could you explain to our audience how you got started with this? Because I know this is not your 9 to 5.
Correct? Correct. It is not. So it's a long story, so I'll keep it short. It's actually a cousin, which I'm really excited about. His name's Elliot Martin.
Awesome.
We were working at Nike, and we love Nike. Of course, we always grew up, wearing Jordans and Nikes and all that type of stuff. But as two young African Americans working at Nike, we felt like Nike could be. And so we knew that they were tapping into our audience because we the cool kids, right? But we was like, what more could we do? So we always had this concept of like, man, we out here chasing dreams. And so that eventually morphed into, okay, what if we are helping everybody get close? And so the reason it's not closer to my dreams is because we all have dreams. So we said, let's make it CTOD, which is closer to our dreams. And the beautiful thing, what I love about our brand, I'm getting chills now as I talk about this, is it's like once I know your dream, now your dream becomes part of my dream because elevation, right? And another thing we say is, like I said, together we can achieve more, but we also believe it's no competition. It's how can we collaborate?
That's what we do.
That's right on brand.
Yeah, and I feel like because of the way we grew up and, social experience, believe we have been taught as a people to compete against each other.
Yeah.
And that's something I think our generation will have to focus on breaking that.
Yep.
And a lot of times we were out looking for leaders, and instead of just us becoming the leaders that our generation behind us need to see. And so I say, young folk, I say, hey, Malcolm and Martin, they gone.
Yeah.
So we have to become the leaders that can actually change the world. And we always talk about be the change you want to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Talk about some of the workshops that you guys provide. I think of it like as a for kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's not even really just for kids. We have, what I love about what I've done with this brand, or what we've done with this brand, is we can literally go anywhere because there's kids that have different dreams, right? So you might have a kid that says, hey, you know what? I want to pick up a camera. And what is becoming a photographer? Or you might have someone that says, hey, I want to play a professional sport. So we don't pigeonhole ourselves to saying, hey, it's only for business owners. We say, what is your dream? And what I like to say is we reach out to our network and say, hey, who's in our network that can tell these kids or this audience about doing a certain thing. So for those of you who don't know, a long time ago, I was pursuing professional basketball, but I had no model to follow. I just kind of had to try to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
Well, now what I do is if a kid tells me they want to be a professional athlete, I reach out to my network. Ex-NFL player, Lewis Murphy. Shout out to Lewis Murphy for the one-on-one podcast out there in St. Pete. But I can literally reach out and touch him and say, hey, we got 20 kids that say they want to play professional football at the highest level. Can you come talk to them about what? That's what we focus on with our brand. So how we do that is with different workshops, like you said. So we have our networking events. That's for the young professionals. We call it Networking Vibe.
Hey.
And so the reason we call it that is because when I used to go to the networking events downtown, they always felt super stuffy.
Yeah.
And of course, I was always in there. And it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, we'll just go fit in with a conversation. And it was like, well, I don't feel like I connect with any of you all.
Yeah.
So what I did was I said, let me create my own thing. So Networking Vibe is for introverts.
Oh.
So a lot of people don't even realize I'm an introvert, that I'm an extrovert because this is what I have to do for my brand. But people don't even realize this. Like in 5 years, my goal is to disappear. And I'm just being honest, where it's like, okay, I'm only being so active and like this now because y'all don't know who I am.
Yeah,
but once I'm to a Tyler Perry stage where I don't need to
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it's a honor and it's a privilege to be in a presence of someone like that. And so I think what happens to people like me is we kind of get taken advantage of because they see like, oh, you got a heart to serve. So then it's like you have so many people trying to tap into you for your resources. And if you don't have, I'm getting chilled all through this. If you don't have the discernment to know who's just trying to attach themselves to you so they can just get a piece of who you know and all that type of stuff. And then what they don't realize is when you share a connection and they mess that up, usually that comes back on you.
Yep, exactly.
Like, oh, I'm connection with this person and now they did X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, well, that's why I say people that want to be in leadership, first, you have to develop a sense of discernment because there are going to be the vultures out there that's just waiting to pounce on you.
That's true.
And you just got to know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's the one. So that's networking vibe. Then we do an entrepreneurship boot camp. We don't know about timing because of the hurricane, but we were planning to do that in November. It might get pushed back to December. We do a women's empowerment summit. We literally had to push it back twice because the Helene. It was like, heck no, y'all not doing this. So then we pushed it back, and then Hurricane Milton came. Like, nope. And so my partner, who I've partnered with for that, is we're setting up a new date, hopefully either November or December. I told her we should wait till the hurricane season is over.
Yeah.
So that way there's gotcha. And then we are in the process of putting together a men's summit as well. Because what's happened is since I've been so vulnerable online, I'm getting a lot of black men either coming up to me in person or online and say, hey, man, I don't feel like there's a safe for me to come and share how I'm really feeling. Can I talk to you? Oh, wow. And so I tell my pastor, I'm like, hey, like we need to do something because I feel like some of these men, I could be their last, hey man, I'm gonna talk to you before I end it all. Yeah, their last. And that's heavy. Yeah. And that's like I don't.
You don't want to carry that burden.
Yes, I'm trying to serve, but I'm saying we need to create a platform where these men can feel safe, where they can come in, tell them about what's going on, and not feel the burden of like the criticism of, oh, you're supposed to be a strong black man. Like, no, man, we have feelings just. And we have to learn to be able to tap into those feelings. And I think the way I was brought up was speak when spoken to. Yes. So what that causes for someone like myself is I grew up with insecurities because I'm in all these rooms and not being able to say. So when I get out into the real world, like I don't know how to deal with my emotions.
That learned behavior.
Because I'm like, I'm only speaking when spoken to. So if no one speaks to me,
I ain't speaking back.
Nothing.
Right? So it's so just getting that. I ain't want to get super deep on y'all.
No, you're fine.
That's it pretty much. So closer to our dreams, I just wanted to be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope for those that do have dreams, and to know like, listen, sometimes we think of our dreams like they so far away. It's like, man, just break them down. Like I do something else called a dream camp. It stands for Driven, Resilient, Achieving Millions. So what we do in that camp is a 30-day case study. We say, hey, first 2 days is to set up your revenue goals. Your revenue goals is between 1,000 to 5,000 for this 30 days. Then I say, all right, now we're going to break that down into weekly goals. It's like, okay, it takes that $1,000, breaks it down. Then they start thinking like, wait a minute, that's not really as much as I thought it was. Okay, then I'm like, all right, now we're going to do one more. Daily. And we're going to break down in the daily. Yeah. And then it's like, wait a minute, I could do this.
Yeah.
I can make this amount daily.
Yeah, daily.
It's like $42 a day.
That ain't bad.
That's what we have one student in there. Shout out to Artesia in Tampa.
Hey, shout out to Artesia.
She came in there, $500 in 2 weeks. She has an ebook that's $47. She started a program and literally sold one book a day. And that's why I told her, like, sometimes 3 sales a day, 5 sales a day. So just think about it. And the next day you can kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit because it's like, I'm good.
I'm coasting.
So that's what it's about, breaking down our big goals into bite-sized goals so that we can move forward. Because the end game is to make progress. Just make progress. Because if
That's
you're
it.
making progress
One
every
step a
day,
day.
it's like, oh, one sale a day?
Yeah.
Bro, I could do that.
Yeah.
Now, are you a career specialist? I'm like,
I mean, I
you're basically hitting everything. Like you share your network, you
Right.
give them goals, you give them hope. You know.
So I mean, I could be, but Third Bank, shout out to them. But my goal, like I said, is to do this full time because I feel like for me, it's more of a calling.
I can tell you're
It's
very
like-
passionate about it.
It's a calling, and I feel like that's what God has anointed me with. Because this is not something I went and learned. It's literally like, God, I need you to come serve my people, and you have the resources, you have the access to the information. So it's like, okay, like now you got to get out of your own shell. And you gotta start being a little bit more vulnerable.
I was
and,
about to ask you about that.
yeah. And that's literally what has happened. And since I've become more vulnerable online, the people, and that's why I say I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, hey, let's systemize this so that it doesn't become a burden that I'm carrying all of it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, all right, Pastor, we got all these resources, all these wellness people at the church.
Let's utilize it properly.
Let's utilize it. Let's get these people that need the help that they need. Come on. And me, I had therapy. Therapy this year changed my life, bro. Because when I tell you, in the church you grow up, it's either just pray about it and let it go, or you choose therapy and now you're not a believer.
Yes.
And so
that's what they make it seem like
But
that.
our pastor, so grateful for him. Shout out Carlos Sr. He said we had a deep conversation in December, and he was like, "Hey, even he had done it." So this was the first pastor I had met, yes, that was open about, "Hey, I went and saw a therapist," and then he explained what it helped him with.
Okay.
And he was like, "Really, it kind of helped me reassure the thoughts that I already had, but." It allowed me to do it in a modality, like way to come up with methods to deal with certain emotions when they come. And so once I did that, and I mean, I had to tap into a childhood memory that I suppressed. And that was that my grandmother, I remember this like yesterday, man. I was a creative. I was always a super creative, and I just didn't know what that was. Because I mean, I'm 9 years old. I don't know what a super creative is, right? So I wrote a book. That book in around like first grade won me an award, right?
Yeah.
For all of the school. I come home, I tell my grandma, I'm like, man, I'm so excited. Man, boy, what you gonna do with that? She's like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, that is not gonna get you nowhere in life. And so I put that dream away. Shut down.
Wow.
And so what that symbolized for me though is that not being able to be a dreamer.
Oh.
And so that all my creativity away. And then all these years I have just been trying to please, like do things to please her, and nothing was like, I've written a book, I'm on my second book, and I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff, but nothing was satisfying because she gone. And I was like, all I was waiting for is for her to say, man, I'm so proud of you. But it didn't come. So it took me being in therapy and being in a position where I can say, I forgive you, because I know if you said this to me, I can only imagine what your mother might have said to you. In regards to
people.
Come on. So, but like that therapy really helped me and start moving in a more intentional way. Because I've been doing this a while. I've been speaking for 12 years, but God has really like poured into me like, okay, this is the way I would like you to do it. This is who I want you to connect with. And it's like the way I move now, I can move in any room.
Yeah.
Because it's
Confidently.
like, I'm in there with the millionaires. I'm in there with the people still trying to get it straight out the mud.
Yeah.
And I know how to talk to both of them.
Yep.
And so that's something that I've had to develop over time, but God has given me those opportunities.
Man, it's a blessing to conversate with you today.
Oh, well, thank you.
I know, but I want you to drop some information. However, before I do it, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Your current work with the bank, how has that influenced you positively to assist you in your current venture?
Yeah, to be honest, not much.
Okay, this is what I was wondering.
Because I came to the bank with already the people, the resources, everything. If anything, they're benefiting from me.
That's why I was wondering.
Because they tapping into my connection. Like I reached out to Lewis Murphy, who was an ex-NFL player. I was like, hey, you need to come bank with us. And it wasn't even a thought of like, hey, programs, and it's like, all right, bro, if this where you at,
I'm there with you.
And then the crazy thing about him, he's trying to get on ESPN. So once he do that, that's a whole nother network.
Yeah.
So I would say what I've used the bank for is, like I said, access to the resources, the information.
Mm-hmm.
Information. I won't go into all the details, but that we don't know. When we don't know it because the people in the bank don't look like us.
Mm.
So they don't have the sense of urgency to come
share.
to the community and share it.
Yeah.
So once I know something that we don't know as a community, I'm going in,
Run tell.
Pastor,
Yeah.
let's do a workshop at our church, the hub, so that our people can learn this information.
Oh,
first.
so smart.
Yes. And then one of the things I do, like I said, the community that I've developed, I had, it was really exciting. So we did a Kidpreneur Summit at my God, which is literally 10 minutes apart from our other church, right? And so I invited what I call my super friends, right? So one of them is a big time real estate investor who lives in Virginia.
Okay.
So he's in the military, about to retire. He came down. I told my pastor and his team, I said, hey, he is willing his time. I think it would be a good opportunity that anybody in the church that would like to get into real estate investing, they should come check him out.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a little announcement, standing room only.
Ooh.
Standing room only for right after church. We said, hey, this is what he's gonna do. He's not gonna give you the whole game.
Yeah.
He'll at least give you something where you can get started.
Mm-hmm.
Standing room only. So that's the opportunities we have.
There's a thirst for it.
It's a thirst.
Yeah.
It's a thirst because people see it now. When gentrification happens in your city, it's like, it's and this is what I tell people, and again, I'm getting chills all through this. It's either you be a part or you get left behind.
Yeah.
There is no
middle ground when it comes to that.
Like
Yeah.
you're either part of it where you say, hey, where do I fit in this puzzle?
Yeah.
Or you get left behind.
Yeah.
And you help bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bridging the gap.
And I'm not gonna lie, in our community, we need a lot more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna lie, man. You're about this. I can
Yeah.
tell you're very passionate.
Thank you.
We're gonna have you back on for a full episode.
It's fine.
I know we want to get you in because we want to at least let you speak about that today because I know what you're working on actually aligns very much with what our goals are.
Okay.
And what we want to offer to people.
Okay.
But before we sign out, if you could just tell people where they can find you, and any other, if you have any upcoming events, et cetera, please let us know.
Okay. So you can find me on all platforms at Coach D Talks. Okay. At Coach D Talks. I'm very active. I try to be active on Instagram, Facebook, and main three. On YouTube is just, if you just put in Closer to Our Dreams TV, that'll pop up. And then in regards to events, we have, like I said, the Women's Empowerment Summit. We don't know the exact date, but it'll probably be the end of Thanksgiving or right before Christmas. We're waiting to hear back from the venue. We're gonna have the Men's Summit coming up, and actually, I'm because I'm in South Carolina, and to be honest, we were in the process. I was ready to move up here. I loved it so much. Somerville, I love Pleasant. Those were like my two areas.
Country.
Yeah. And I was like, I always felt home when I was here. And then it's a whole nother story, but I found I'm adopted. And so I have an older brother and sister, and they could be up here. Oh. So it's like I'm feeling it just pouring in. It's like, man, I gotta figure this out. Cause that would be like a dream come true if I could just meet them and just let's know. Cause I don't think they know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Because of the whole story. But yeah, and then like I said, anybody that would like to connect with me, just connect, say how you heard about me. And we do right now, it's free.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that again. Our dream camp is free. The reason we're doing that is because we want to basically allow you to experience the brand before you making an investment.
Okay.
So a lot of times what happens is you invest and you don't get what you want. So we've taken it up front. Like I said, she made $500 within 2 weeks. Guess what she's doing? She's running and telling all her friends, hey, I've been in this program 2 weeks and I'm not questioning. That's what we also do. Like our community, we come in, we question everything that's already laid out. I'm like, we got 30 days laid out for you where all do what each day say to do.
Mhm.
That's it. And it's like no questions. Now, if you do have questions, you can jump in our Facebook group and ask them there. But to be honest, it's pretty straightforward.
There's nothing that you really need to question about the process.
Yeah. And so I will say that I'm going to put this out here on your platform. I would like to come back to South Carolina and vibe and also do a workshop. And that workshop, I have an AI consultant that's on my team. I have a mindset coach that's on our team. I have a business lending person that's on my team. So it's not just me. That's what I love saying. Like, it's not just Coach D. We have a whole team. Them has been like, yo, wherever you go, we going, because we see your vision.
Yeah.
And I've been following Dr. Miles Monroe.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, man, like I watched one of his videos, he's talking about sometimes the vision, like the visionary has to always be first. Because that nobody, like, I don't care how long you sit there and try to explain it to them. You could try to explain it to your wife, your kids, your mama. None of them gonna get it. You have to show them.
Yeah.
And when you
see it,
because they can't see it, you have to show them. You have to go out there, do the work, and once they are able to see it, then it's like, oh, okay, this is where and we can go from there. So I know we gotta cut it short, but
yeah. But one thing before we get off, make sure people they know where they can find you. They know what they got going on. Of course, we'll have you back up. If you have any upcoming events, of course, please send that information to us so that we can help you distribute information and promote. Pardon me. I will say is, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Ooh, how'd you know that?
He on your page stalking you right now.
I don't play.
He is stalking you right now.
But I still love you. Despite you being a Cowboys fan.
What are you, the Panthers?
Nah, man. I'm a New England Patriots fan. You know we got to whoop y'all at least once a year.
Now you're going to have to explain.
From Connecticut, New Haven.
Oh, that's where you're from. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I ain't doing it like that. I gotta do you wrong.
Okay.
I ain't do you
I
wrong.
was gonna say, where does
You still love me. I know, right? Yeah.
How did that happen?
And you'll learn what's so weird is despite us being that, there's not a lot of Panthers fans here. Everybody's NFC East fans because of the way television used to work back in the day. And then Dolphins fans.
Okay.
But we'll discuss that later, man.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure all mine.
For the Hilltop Glove Podcast, this is Anwar.
Tamaya.
And our esteemed guest,
Coach D.
We greatly appreciate you joining us today.
No problem.
Until next time, please tell somebody next time that you love them, that you appreciate them. Make sure you let people know that around you. Peace.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast.